Hey, Bruce Ribby here, author of Freedom's Quest on Amazon. Please check it out. Florida history story. And Woodpecker, a rather bizarre sci-fi story on about the Kennedy Space Center on Kindle Vella. So, I'm working on some future projects, and some of it is about the Eastern Test Range and my 7 years a diver on the Air Force Eastern Test Range and a variety of islands. So, I just drove by a homeless encampment, and I've been told lately I'm not allowed to use the word homeless. It's insulting. Anyway, I was, it made me think about my time I visited a homeless encampment in the Lesser Antilles, Antigua. God. So I like to explore a lot whenever I can. And down on Antigua, they had a lot of abandoned sugarcane factories that and mills that I think in around the 1930 the industry collapsed and a lot of these places were shut down. So a lot of times sometimes I'm curious, sometimes I'm just simply looking for lignin vitae to harvest when I was down there. So I hiked to this rather elaborate abandoned sugarcane factory. The smokestack still stuck 6 feet out of the thorn trees. But I got down there and it was pretty cool. I explored it for a couple hours. Saw some wild bees. That was always cool. So I came to a point where I got kind of disturbed, and that was I was in a man-made cave, domed roof, and there were things on the ground like water, blankets, and all of a sudden I kind of got the idea that I was probably in a homeless encampment, a West Indies style. And I certainly didn't want to cause any problems or cause a stir. So I decided to bolt. But before I could flee, something caught my attention on the ground. And, curiosity does me in. So on the ground was a homemade ceramic cone. It looked like an ice cream cone out of some red clay, fired red clay, and there was a hole in the bottom, and more or less a cup at the top. It looked like it had been burned a little bit up on the top on the inside. So I was holding that cone up, going, and going, what the hell, and hoping that I wasn't getting macheted by some homeless guy, but said, So I looked down on the ground, and there was a coconut shell with a couple holes in it, and just something about the size of the top hole caught my attention, and I picked up that coconut shell, and I dropped that cone the cone set right perfectly into the top of that coconut shell. And it was like, and then at the back of the coconut shell was a hole, and then on the bottom of the shell was a hole the size of your finger. And I went, I'll be damned, this is a bong. This is some type of pipe with that where you can control the airflow at the bottom with your finger. So I was like, okay, so this is not a tobacco pipe, but it's a ganja pipe. And so now I'm in a homeless person's who like their ganja. Probably like a Rastafarian gentleman. But that's when I decided I really should leave this person's house. And bolted. Wouldn't you know it? Month, two later, I was downtown in Antigua during Carnival. Everyone's celebrating, dancing, lots of rum drinking going on. And I was looking at some of the local merchants' wares that were set on the ground out in the middle in the park, the green area, and I came across a blanket full of identical fired cones and coconut shells, and I just thought, look at that! There's that bong I'd found, and I just thought that was so cool. And I've told people that story sometimes. It's not an adventure, but I was just like, look at that, check that out. So if you ever need a bong, I guess. Hey, Bruce out.